All right. Hey, add that to the stress. Talk about a full panic moment there. Okay, so what you guys don't know is as we walked in here at 10:15, there was no audio, and that's not extra stress that I needed. So here's the thing. I want to say thank you so much. Welcome to the Drag and Drive Awards of 2025, presented by Summit Racing. We appreciate those guys and all they do. Today we're going to award recipients of the Drag and Drive community. These are folks that literally, all of these up here were typically people that participated in more than one event throughout the year. And as we get down towards this end, these are folks that did it at a very high level. If you don't know, my name is Mike Narks. I think all you guys know me and Eric, but I don't know, I think we've gone crazier this year with more stuff. We've done more, we've covered more. We've talked more about Drag and Drive in every sense of the word. We've been on podcasts talking about it. We're trying to spread, like Wes Buck says, we're trying to spread the gospel of Drag and Drive because I feel it is the best motorsport in all of the country or the world possibly, because it creates just this camaraderie that you would want to come into a room like this. When there's all that other cool stuff out on the floor, you come in here to support your friends. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's here. Thank you for being our race car friends. That's something we've said for years now. Race car friends to us is a big deal. Like, it means a lot that you guys follow us, that you support us, that you share stuff, that you do all of that. So if you do one favor for me in a slow time during the show, please just check in on Facebook on one of the events that we've got here. That'll help us a lot kind of gather momentum as we lead into the rest of the weekend. I want to say thanks to our sponsors. A lot of them are in here. Of course, Summit Racing, Mahle Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, DeatschWerks, Howard's Cams, Jaywire Solutions. Where's Jay over there? CarChains 3D, PerformaBuilt Transmissions, AFCO Racing products, Powertube TV, WAF Racing, who's in our booth with us this weekend, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Most of those have a booth here at PRI. Please, please, please go by and thank them for their support, not just of us, but of the Drag and Drive community, because if they are even posting stuff about Drag and Drive, it helps all of us get more sponsors into the sport, create more events, which we've seen an incredible amount of events come in 2025. 2026 is going to be even crazier. So excited to them. Summit Racing, not only friends, they are big supporters of what we do, supporters of the Drag and Drive community in so many ways. If you guys were at the Mickey Thompson booth this morning, I mean, they're helping with that stuff. They're helping with events. They're sponsoring everything we do, but they're not just sponsors. They don't just cover that side of stuff. They also race. So, well, I mean, you participate. You're making passes down the track. They may not be fast, but he's making passes down the track. Don't get me. But these guys are really a huge part of what we do. So when you guys are shopping and looking for parts, we'd appreciate if you would hit them up first, see if we can do that, and then I'm going to let Tommy sell a little bit more as well. Round of applause real quick for Tommy Dupree. Thank you, man. I'm so proud to be part of this group and of the community, and I even made myself some notes this year, so try to keep this brief. Welcome everybody to the awards. Obviously, you are a part of or competed in a Drag and Drive this year. I was either competing or attending 5 different Drag and Drives this year, and one question came up, and it's usually Mr. Turk. I saw him here a minute ago ask this question. How many did it for the first time this year? Anybody here newbies? Raise your hands. No, that's surprising. Veterans. And every one of them, I would say 30 to 50% were new people to this world. And that's what attracts companies like us to this. It's not the same people we see day in and day out. We get to see new faces, new customers, and build that customer relationship. How many event promoters? Anybody staff-wise, tech, anybody has anything to do with that? Who's here? Raise your hand. First of all, round of applause for those guys, because they're the ones who go out and take the chance and put in this all out of these events where we're going to have some fun. And promoting is probably one of the hardest things here. You guys are at home getting the car ready. We're at home stressing, blowing chunks in the toilet, trying to figure out how we're going to entertain everybody. So that's right. If nobody knows about it, nobody's going to show up. So I'm not going to get still a lot of Mike's thunder here on some 2025 numbers, but that was something that was really important to us. Historically, over the last 3 years at least, this thing has grown in some avenues 30%, some 50%. 50% growth across the board. That's amazing, and that's what is attractive to companies like us as well.
building new relationships, building new customers. We even have now, you talked about Mickey Thompson putting together a whole event. Now you have manufacturers wanting to get in the game because they see how viable this is. So that's a huge deal. Not to steal thunder, but we kind of all know who's going to win the belt this year. And I just want to beat on him a little bit. You know, it's cool that Brian's going to do this 3 years in a row. And it's like, Brian got it again. But I can tell you, after watching this guy at every drag and drive this year, nobody in his team has worked harder at an event. I watched the ass end of the car get ripped off at Flying H, and I'm like, they're done. That's it. And the idiots welded it back together and kept going. So Brian, Rob, Joe, any of you guys had anything to do with that car, congratulations on another year. So where do we see 2026? Oddly enough, Jim and I just had a conversation with the guys from Sweden, Street Week. Those guys, you talk about crazy, they're doing an international tour. They're going, obviously Sweden, they're going to go to the UK, they'll be at Sick Week, they're going to go to Australia. They're going to do several different continents this year, and that's the international flair to this is something that's just amazing. And I never thought back when Drag Week first started, the first drag and drives, we would be at this level, but that's how important this stuff is. Lastly, me, I'm going to compete in 4, maybe 5 next year. Depends on how our time off is and what we got going on. But I had to share one last thing with you. I did terrible this year. And set that down. I have to show you something. This is the armband from Drag Week. We did not finish and it pissed me off. So until we complete a drag and drive, this is not coming off. So if anybody's walking around the show, there's a smell, it's my arm. So thank you all very much and congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you very much. All right, well, talking about numbers, that kind of leads in, and it made me think of something. We're entering the 3rd decade of drag and drive events. The first one, obviously, you spent 10 years as only Hot Rod Drag Week. That was all we had. Then this, Rocky Mountain Race Week, Drag Challenge in Australia came about in 2015. That kind of led us into the 2nd decade of what we've done. We finished the 2nd decade with 53 events in 2025, up from 37 in 24 and up from 27 in 23. And before that, it was teens. So this has grown exponentially. I mean, you can't explain that to anybody that's outside. We've seen countries, US, Canada, Sweden, Australia, and the UK host events. I don't have a final car count, but it's got to be in the 5,800, 6,000 competitors across the board at all drag and drive events, which is up from 4,500 in 24 and up from 2,800 in 2023. So tons of stuff coming there. This to me, this stat makes the most difference because as we move into this new area where not as many people are interested in going to the track, there were 110 tracks visited in 2025 just by drag and drive events. That's not people getting ready for their stuff. That's 110 different drag strips across the world preparing for anywhere from 25 to 400 cars to come in there and make passes down the track. This is a big deal as we move forward. This is what will help tracks become more popular, help people come in and all that kind of stuff. As we do that, we know there are definitely some influencers that are helping people show up at that stuff. The goal is everybody to be an influencer. I know it sounds crazy, but as you post about these events, as you post pictures of your cars at different tracks, different route stops and things like that, that helps spread the word. Now, I know that's second nature to guys like Eric and I. I mean, literally every time we're somewhere, we're taking photos or videos or something like that. But I beg you to do that same thing. I know a lot of you guys aren't forward facing. Look, we don't want to see your face. We want to see your car anyways. We want to see you doing stuff. So post on that side of stuff, okay? Please, please, please. As we move into the 3rd decade here, it's just really wild to think of what's happened in the last 5 or 6 years. So I want to run through, these are national event numbers. These are events that are 4 days or more, racers from around the world. 2,532 racers did one event last year, a single event. 210, so less than 10% did 2 events. That tells you how much growth capacity there is there. Now, these are just week-long events. 41 racers did 3, and 12 racers spent a month at drag and drive events or more. I mean, getting to them, getting home, all that kind of stuff. 12 racers doing 4 events. That's insane. Is there anybody in here that did 4 events besides Brian? Randy Seward, Raj back there. I mean, just think in the room here, there's 80 people. There's 3 folks that did 4 events. Like, they spent a month at a drag and drive event. These guys are really that next level of what we're looking at. So when we talk about these awards, what do we track? We are tracking for Drag Drive Repeat and Drag and Drive is we want you to drag race, we want you to drive some, and then we want you to drag race again. We kind of want that swap over of tires. We want that struggle, right? So from there, we take and we have broken all of this down into points because we're idiots. But national level events are 4 days or more of racing. Now that doesn't mean they need to race 4 days, but 4 scheduled days because sometimes rain happens and all that kind of stuff. We do classify regional events as 3 days or less. We are seeing a ton of single day events come about. There's some announcements that are coming this afternoon and tomorrow that are about single day drag and drives with that same format. People will make a pass, they will drive, and they will make another pass. So it is different than a longer true street, which I think is one of the biggest changes we can make, because that's what we need to do with a single day. We don't need to be calling them drag and drive, in our opinion, we don't need to be calling them drag and drives if there's not a drag, drive, repeat. Do it again. Sorry, didn't mean that. Was not written in these notes. Heads up style events are becoming really, really popular as well. So we're seeing that a lot more. Like Heads Up Hustle does 2 days to do your average, then they set up your average sets the ladder, and then you go heads up from there. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. Please, if you're going to host an event, keep us in mind. Let us know. Talk to us. We will help you promote in every way possible. So now for what you're here for. It's been 13 minutes. We're going to be out early, which is good for you guys. So
Take a breath.
I can't at this point. You just keep rolling, right? So let's get to the Drag and Drive Awards presented by Summit Racing. I want to start out with the Summit Racing Drag and Drive Ambassadors for 2025. These are racers that do more than just race. They bring new racers to the community through social media and in-person conversations. I've heard these people talk to folks at gas stations about what we're doing and really sell it from there. These are racers that promote the love to see more people come into the community. So our winners for this year are Jesse Mataferi, who I think is not here I don't think anybody is here that we're awarding this to. So for the folks at home, I'll get these sent out on Monday when I get back to the house. I'll name all 3 and then we'll give them a big round of applause. Jesse Mataferi, Tom Bagley from the UK, and Red Hat Sky. And then a special award we want to give for Spirit of Drag and Drive. This is across the country, across the world, across everything. This was awarded to a racer, Robert Voss over here, for the circuit event. And he said, man, I would love to have this for a single event, but I think it probably should go, being that it's such an awesome trophy, I think it should probably go to somebody that embodies drag and drive more than anybody. And we would like to present that to Mr. Jesse Fox. Come up here.
I'm gonna take a picture of you.
Right? If you guys don't know, Jesse Fox typically runs 40 to 50,000 miles. 40 to 50,000 miles a year in the blue Volvo named Benny. I'm going to give you the mic. Talk about your channel and all that kind of stuff.
Hi guys, I'm Jesse, if you don't know. I do 3G video. We are a photography and a YouTube channel. We do photography for drag and drive events, travel all over the place. We were 16 events this year, going through a couple different countries in Canada and in the United States. Just have a lot of fun with all our race car friends. That's what we're here. This really means a lot. Thank you guys. Really, kind of came out of left field. So, thank you. But yeah, it's a good time. We love drag and drive, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future. We're going to do more of these, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah. One of my favorite stories of his throughout the year was the trip from Hot Rod Drag Week, which ended in Maryland. And 3 days later, he was in California for Redwood Rally. Like, that's commitment, especially in a 87 Volvo, 84 Volvo 245 with a Mopar V8 5-speed swap. So pretty awesome there. Thank you, Jesse, for all you do for the sport, man. It really is, it's truly amazing. All right, Mahle Motorsport's Toughest Roadside Repair. I should have asked these folks if they were going to be here. This one here goes to Mr. Philip Gullidge. Had a fire in the car, he pulled the Lincoln style transmission and completely rebuilt it at least twice on the side of the road, and finished his first drag and drive event after competing 3 different times. This is the orange blower S10 for you guys that don't know. So a big round of applause for Phil, please. All right, and the guy that goes through a ton of driven racing oil right here, we call this the Driven Racing Oil Road King event and or award. I think he's probably won this before with all of his work, but Mr. Rovic, Mr. Raj Ahuja, will you please come up here? Drove the Oldsmobile. 16,000 miles drove the Oldsmobile this year to drag and drive events and back. More than 40,000 miles total across the world to do these things, man. Tell us about it. You're a big talker.
No, not really.
Burnout.
Yeah, give me a card. No, thanks a lot, guys, for presenting that, but I don't know, not much to say. Like I say, drag and drive, it's about tacos and burnouts. So you got to fish out around the country, tacos and burnouts. And I can't wait to do more than 26. So.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. I do need some help from my friends. I would love to hear a podcast, Burnouts and Tacos with him, Jeff Oppenheim, Dan Nissen. I'd love to have a podcast with them at the table eating. I think that would be awesome. So let's peer pressure him into at least doing one of those. Let's move to the DeatschWerks quickest 850 class average. This is across the world. This is across all events that had an 850 style class. 309 cars ran in an 850 class of some kind across the world. Like, that's pretty awesome. So 23 passes this year were submitted with an 850 of some kind. Think about that. 300, and that's 1,500 passes total probably submitted, and only 23 were an 850. So the guys that are 850 racers in here, you know how hard that is. That's pretty impressive. But 30 averages across the world were 8.5 something. Like, that tells you how competitive this class is. With 7 or 8 events that have these, there's 3 or 4 at each event that have an 8.5 something in that average there. I want to give an honorable mention to this winner, Mr. Randy Stewart, honorable mention today, man. Congratulations. Finished second in this with an 85068 at SIG Week 2025. And he's right here in the front, so let's give him a round of applause. And then the winner of the DeatschWerks quickest 850 class average is Mr. Rick Steinke, who I don't think is here. Maybe here, he's here. He took the best winning average this year at an 85048. So pretty awesome. That was at Drag Week 2025. This class continues to surprise. That is an all-time Drag Week record tied to the 4th digit tied Dustin Trant. So it's crazy to think over 10 different passes submitted. Those guys tied down to the 10,000s on an average. Howard Scam's bump spot. This is the number 100 quickest quarter-mile national event racer. This is the 2nd quickest bump spot in history. Mr. Dustin Safford, Hot Rod Drag Week, 874 with a 4. He in here? Nope. Round of applause. Hey, so 874 bump spot, the quickest 100 unique racers. That's not overall like Brian Goldstone being in there 4 times. That's 100 different racers across national level events across the world, 874. So if you're not going that fast, you're not going to make the list. That's pretty impressive. Regional events, let's move to these. These are 2- and 3-day events. 15 events in 2025, no, 28 events. Sorry, my notes are bad. 28 events in 2025. Jaywire Solutions, quickest overall quarter-mile regional. Number 3, Mr. Rob Carter. I know he's probably not here because he's from Street Weekend, UK, that with a VW Passat with a 792 average. So he's that quarter-mile guy. Number 2 is Josh Simmons from Buckeye Skips, brand new event for 2025 with a 766 average. And then the winner that will get the trophy being sent to him, all the way from Australia, Mr. Daniel Smith in the Celica that had the hood blow over the windshield from the All-Stars Drag and Drive, another new event in 2025 with a 763 average across 4 days or across 3 days of racing. That's pretty freaking fast to come out for regional events. So one more round of applause for those guys. And then the Jaywire Solutions quickest overall 8th mile regional event. Again, these are 2 or 3 days. Mr. Steve Morris in the Boostmaster wagon from Drop the Hammer. Where's Carl Stansel in here? I saw him just a minute ago. There he is, right in the middle. 454 average. So a lot of fast stuff at 8th mile regional stuff as well. 3 days of racing. That was a good time. Drop the Hammer is on my list for 2026 to attend. 235 racing. This has really become a class in its own. There's been a ton of racers. There's, I think, 55 racers raced 8th mile on a 235 tire in a national level event. There's not many events that host these, and for 55 of them to get in there, that shows you the 235 tire is really becoming pretty hot. Mr. Luis De Leon in the Motion Race Fortail Toro at 6 summer with a 489 average. So a round of applause for him, please. We should have been making we'll do that after. You'll take pictures with all those. How about that? Moving on to the PerformaBuilt Transmissions quickest 3 overall 8th mile national level event. Mr. Nick Cryer, which I haven't seen, hopefully he is around here somewhere and we can hand deliver this.
He'll be here tonight.
Oh, perfect. All right, we'll get him tomorrow then for sure. So this is 8th mile national events. Mr. Nick Cryer, 32 hot rod, 6 Smokies, 463, and he took the number 3 spot. So round of applause for him, please. And then I don't know what they're doing in at Street Week Sweden, but those dudes are very, very fast. Mr. Christopher Thorson, Street Week Sweden, 451 average across 4 days of racing for the number 2 spot. And then the winner, Christopher Haglund, Street Week Sweden, 449 average across 4 days of racing. So round of applause for those guys. All right, and then the AFCO Racing quickest 3 overall quarter mile. Mr. Josh Davis and Devin Vanderhoof's Mustang convertible. The next one's going to be much faster, I think. 6:57 at Sick Week 2025. So round of applause for them. I think they had a good year. Mr. Brett LaSala is the runner-up in that category with Sick Week 2025 at a 6:24 average. Round of applause for him, please. And then Ned Dunphy with a record-setting 6:17 average at Hot Rod Drag Week takes the overall quickest of the year, and that's a brand new record for all of Drag and Drive quarter mile national events. So round of applause one more time for everybody that yeah, man. Tough year this year. That's the way it goes sometimes. Everybody spent their time doing drag and drives. All right, so before we move into the championship stuff here, basically, I just want to thank everybody again. Thank you for being here. Thank you to our sponsors. Please, please go by. Thank them for their support of the Drag and Drive community and all that kind of stuff. This points deal, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest with you. It kind of came about because of a long conversation with a bunch of different people, but I feel like it's a great way to span the community. It's a way to, really, it started as a way to get more people to do more events. It was my initial thought, and it's kind of grown insane from there. So for y'all that don't know, I'm going to go through it really quick. The way we do points for these belts and trophies is for national level events only. 4 days or more of racing, we talked about that. Each day is worth 5 points, up to 3 days. Then you get 25 if you finish the event. You get bonus points for anywhere from 6 to 9 seconds before. We did have a 5-second average this year. Nobody got close to it except for Ned. We are going to roll that out. It is worth 8 points next year. So for the very fast cars, that could be a game changer as we move in. You get bonus points for resetting the Class ET average, and for guys like Randy Stewart that came into play. There's not many records, class records, that aren't very, very difficult to get. So I had a call with Mike Finnegan the other day, and he was like, man, you got to award more points for resetting class records. So we are looking at that. In total, in 2025, there were 73,800 championship points collected. So for everybody that competed, everybody that even showed up on registration day and broke their stuff and went home and said, I'm never coming back, 73,800 points is a whole bunch. This last year we did an 850 and a 10-0 points champion because I feel like those guys need some recognition for sure. And like 850 and 10-0 guys, they can't go as fast as guys like Brian Goldstone. So they're not going to get those additional ET bonus points. So we did that. The 10-0 points champion, I know he's in here. Let's welcome up Mr. David Lips with 86 points across the year, across 3 events. You stand there with them and take these photos. So while they're doing that, I'll just talk about this. So 6 summer 2025, he ended with a 10-11 average for 26 points. He completed Southeast Street Meet, which is an 8th mile event in the daily driver class at 6:53 average. And then at Hot Rod Drag Week, he won Street Machine Eliminator. Who in here has competed in Street Machine Eliminator? And you know how hard that is. Ended the week with a 10.05 average for 34 points. So congratulations, man. And number 3 overall points, we're going to kind of skip over because somebody's getting 2 of these. Number 3 overall points, Mr. Lamar Swindell with 105 points, our only nitrous guy to go to all these events. A big round of applause as he walks up here. Lamar finished second in Super Street at Sick Week 2025 with a 767 average. Took second at Super Street at 6 Summer with a 760 average. And he won Quickest Nitrous at 6 Smokies with a 5098 average, totaling 105 points. Cool, round of applause as he goes. All right, and this is a double award here. So we have the number 2 overall on points and our 850 points champion, Mr. Randy Seward, if he'll come on up. 112 points by this gentleman right here. 4 events across the country. Now, only 3 events count for your points, but this guy went in with a methodical challenge. He wanted to win the overall points, but Brian Goldstone stuck in there. But he tied him for points, 112 total points. He won and reset records at all 3 events he attended. He won the Sick Week Street Race 275 class, lowering the class average to 8.5068. That was worth 37 points. He won Rocky Mountain Race Week Limited Street, resetting the class average to an 8.511 average for 37 points. And he won Big Sky Race Week Pro Street class, resetting the average of it to an 545 average for 38 points. So congratulations, Dean. Big round of applause. Randy Stewart out here doing it like everybody wants to, man. 4 events is awesome, especially at 71 years young. That's pretty impressive. And our 2025 Drag and Drive World Champion, presented by Summit Racing, Mr. Bryant Goldstone. Come on up here. Let's give him a round of applause. You guys see all the belts over there? Those are all going home with him. They get stored in the man cave. So not only does he have, get in front of that banner, guys. Not only does he have 11 guitars from gear vendors, now he has 3 championship belts. And you're not going to win this easily. Let's run through what he has here. So he won the Unlimited at Rocky Mountain Race Week Mega Week while he competed in both events. So he made a minimum of 4 passes each day. Probably did not get on the road any earlier than 4, 5, 6 p.m. every day and still raced that next morning. He destroyed, I hope Larry Larson is watching this, he destroyed his 10-year record for Rocky Mountain Race Week with a 668 average, took it from a 691 to a 668. Pretty awesome there. He won the unlimited iron at 6 Summer, which was a week later between the two. Yeah, think about that. He just put a car in the 6s and then went home for 3 days and then came back and won ultimate iron at 6 Summer. Pretty impressive. 664 at that event for 38 points, and then took second in unlimited in a brand new car. It had 3 passes and testing on it, and they came out and took second place in unlimited at Hot Rod Drag Week with a 660 average for 35 points. Can we please give these guys a huge round of applause? And then he went home and they went to another test session and ran a 594. If you guys haven't seen that, you've been under a rock. So this new car is going to be very, very impressive. So I'll give you guys the mic. I want to hear some stories.
My stories were pretty much out there. I mean, we worked on it a lot. That's how we finished. We didn't have one single race that wasn't an adventure. But yeah, Brian could hang with 2 of them. Did you go 2 or 3? 3 of them. And 3 of them, and Rob is he's my 6 Summer guy. So yeah, it was pretty cool to do. The new car is going to be badass for sure, and we wanted to make sure we started off with, or ended the year with a good pass and put away, and we're coming out for kill this year. We might not make it to more than 2 races with it because I can't get Brian to build engines fast enough, but maybe I'll buy a second one for that car too. So, but anyway, I'll let Brian talk some. Thank you guys all.
It was definitely a difficult year. I mean, we struggled every day. This was probably one of the years more than once I thought we were done. And somehow we managed to piece things back together and finish the event. And all right. So.
Oh, Rob's testing.
Hope you guys got your drinks and chips and everything. It's gonna be a while. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, they pretty much covered everything. 6 Summer, we actually had it fairly easy except for just some repercussions of Rocky Mountain Race Week with suspension stuff that it kind of got in the way. But we made it work. We just struggled through everything, and like we always do, and keep going, get it done. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, round of applause for these guys. Thank you guys so much. And we expect Brian to carry those around and wear them stacked, like Hulk Hogan, our hero. Thank you very much, sir. All right, guys. So we have one more thing to talk about. Once it's just, again, thank you so much. We've used the term race car friends for a very long time. It really started as just a goofy video that I was taking with my cousin who lived in Florida. She's not really a car person, but we were running around her Jeep and we were seeing all these cool cars. And I started just race car friends as every time. Well, it's kind of become this whole lifestyle thing. I mean, it's really, I don't know. Every time I see cool cars, that's what I think of. And I want you guys to think of that. But we are planning more events for 2026. We have 6 events on the Drag and Drive, our Drag Drive Repeat, under our promotion. Like, we are literally going next level with everything that we're doing with this. I can't wait. We are hosting 3 single-day events. We're hosting all kinds of stuff throughout the year. But the reason this hasn't ended yet is because we're rolling out a membership program for 2026 that starts this weekend, and basically it is what we do, but more. I've wanted to do this for a long time, and I just didn't feel like we needed to yet. I feel like we're at a point now where we can offer real opportunities for racers. We have great support from promoters from around the country that are offering free entry to events for raffle drawings. We're going to do a ton of stuff with our sponsors behind the scenes, discounts. Basically what this grew from was Camp Counselor Bob at the Circuit 2025 set up snacks and drinks and a spot for shade and all that kind of stuff. And that's what we want to do this year. And that's what this program is going to allow us to do. So essentially for the PRI weekend, it's $100 for the year. You're going to get all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's hard to even list out all the stuff, but basically what we do, but a lot more. Obviously, I'm not asking you guys to sign up, but if there's any support you can give, this is probably one of the best ways. You guys know merch is a great way to support folks across the drag and drive community. We don't probably put out enough merch, to be honest with you, but this is another way that you can support. $10 a month, $100 for the year at PRI. We are doing an OG Race Car Friends shirt that will only be available to sign up with 4 people that sign up here. So guys, thank you again for coming in here. Thank you so much for being a part of the Drag Drive Repeat community. Thank you for everything you do for us. Without you guys, we say it every show, without our race car friends, this wouldn't be where it is. And so I want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause, and then you're free to go, do whatever you want to. We're all gonna hang out. We have the room and chairs for about another 25 minutes, and then they're gonna kick us out. So hang out, do all you want. No photos with Brian's belt on, but that's the only thing we ask. Thank you, guys.
Oh, really? Yeah. Down to like the exact number. Was that written in the?
Yeah, I think it's just